everybody. Linda Rosenblum. Hope you are doing well. Welcome, welcome. I love that you guys are already joining. You're just right there. Welcome to the replay viewers who are tuning in. Welcome to Brittany GBV12. Awesome, Brittany. Welcome aboard. I always need to raise my chair because I feel very low. Come on in. Come on in. Please introduce yourself. Tell me where you're from. What's going on with you? I am sitting here with my little baby Becca. And I had been watching Kimra Luna's scope yesterday. Hey there, DJGZ. And she just did last night, and she was there with her baby, Sirius, I think it is. And, you know, I was sitting here, and I kept waiting for her to fall asleep or her to get tired, and it just wasn't happening. And so it kept pushing my Periscope later and later. And I just got to the point where I'm like, you know what, this is kind of crazy. I want to do a scope today. And I came up with awesome content for you. If you're ready to hear awesome content on high payoff activities, then heart it up and say, yes, I want to hear from you. And then I said, you know what? Like, this is the life of a working mom, right? We have our baby around, things happen at different times, and we just have to learn how to be flexible. So I figured, what a great role model I can be here. So I am going to share with you what high payoff activities are, why we avoid them today. And baby Becca is going to be along for the ride. I will probably have to pick her up along the way, hold her a little bit, and because it's her bedtime, kind of past her bedtime, but she took a late nap, so she's still with us. So let me know who you are and where you're from. That would be awesome. And I'll do a quick intro of myself. My name is Belinda Rosenblum, and I founded a company called ownyourmoney.com. And at Own Your Money, it's really about helping you make more money, keep more of your money, and stress less about your money. And key to doing all of that is letting go of your old money story and the judgment and guilt and shame that goes with it, and really stepping into your power with money. And as a part of that, hold on a sec, we're going to pick up the baby now. Come here, sweetheart. Okay, come here. I'm sorry to go out of frame, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Come here, sweetie. Come here, sweetie. Yeah. Okay. Okay, come here. Come here. Okay, come on, mommy. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. You got a nice view of my printer there for a little bit, I know. But that's okay. I'm going to hold her. Because part of what you learn as an entrepreneur is that you could pretty much teach your content with your eyes closed, or underwater, I think is what one of my colleagues says. And so sometimes you just have to sit here with a baby. I try not to, I don't do it during classes that I'm teaching or webinars or anything, but sometimes when I'm working, this is what it looks like, right? She's sitting in a sling on me, and she's just chilling out because I really want to enjoy whatever time I can with Becca. So, hey there, Valerie. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing great. So today we're going to talk about high payoff activities. And so, I kind of jumped in with my inspiration for the baby scope with Kimra. And yesterday we took a walk, and we were talking about how important it is to have an evening ritual. It's okay, sweetie. To have an evening ritual where you can look forward to it. I had just been talking about it with one of my mentors, Monica Shaw, about the value in that. And it really helps keep me going through the day when I know that I'm going to get to be with Becca and my son Seth in the evening. And then part of what came up in that scope was high payoff activities. And they got me thinking, you know what? I'll bet that most people don't really know what the high payoff activities are that they need to be doing during the day, so then they can really enjoy the time in the evening. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'd love to hear from a few of you, if you're willing, to hear kind of where do you struggle with doing high payoff activities during the day. Like, are you not sure what to do? Do you get too busy with other things? Fill me in a little bit with where your challenges are when it comes to the activities that you're doing for your business or in your job. Just type it in real quick and let's hear from you. And Becca and I will just sit here, and she'll look pretty as always. So let me know. Where do you struggle with it? If you do struggle at all, you could just heart it up and we can call it a day with that. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can ever so gentle. Whoa, that didn't work. Hold on one second. I have a tripod here, but I haven't bought the one that I really want yet. Okay, there we go. I think that's a little bit better. Okay, cool. Cool. Sorry, Becca. Okay, so I'll keep going. So when I think of high payoff activities, I think about what are the activities that you really need to do to be achieving your goals, okay? And usually they're around extending your reach and extending your revenue, okay? And they come in 3 categories that I kind of mapped out for you today. Right, Becca? She agrees. She's sucking profusely to agree. I guess that's what she does. Okay, so the first one that I want you to think about is what's your fastest path to cash? Okay, and really the fastest path to revenue in your business, because that is the first place that I want to see you look for high payoff activities. So that could be things like following up with past clients, because it's always easier to sell a past client additional work than it is to try and get a new client. So are there past clients? I really think that you have a gold mine in your past clients. It's following up with interested parties, like if you went to a networking event, or someone, even one of your friends or friends of friends said, you know what, I'd really love to hear more about what you do. Like, who could you be following up with that could hire you for something? It could be people that followed up, that you had a conversation with, weren't interested at the time, so they kind of said not now, but maybe they could be a yes tomorrow if you give them a call. Okay, so we're still talking fastest path to cash. Oftentimes marketing, like specific marketing that you're doing, inviting people to a workshop, for instance, right? Or inviting them into a program. The ones that can give you a direct path to cash, those are the first way that you know if this is a high payoff activity. And please know that when I talk about a path to cash, it's not for money's sake, just for the sake of money. It's really about how much more you can serve the world through through building your business. And really, each time you bring in revenue, you're helping another person. So that's just a super important thing too. Heart it up if you know what I'm talking about, right? And if you have any ideas in terms of activities you could be doing that would lead you to a direct path to cash, please jot that down too, because I'd love to hear from you. You guys are super quiet tonight. I'm not really sure why. Okay, let's see. Second fastest path, the second high payoff activity that I want you to think about, kind of the second criteria, is to think about, oh, I don't know, maybe she was going to chime in for a second there, is to think about how can you take a one-to-many strategy so that it doesn't just feel that you're trading time for dollars, right? That it's just one-on-one coaching or one-on-one services and that's your only option. I will tell you, back in 2011, I had grown the business. 2010, 2011, we're growth. We took it to almost $400,000. But I had this moment where I said, you know what? This is all grounded around me. And if I want to have a family, I really need to learn how to scale this and plan this in a whole new way. And so a part of that was really looking at how can I serve one-to-many. So a high payoff activity related to one-to-many could be something like building a group workshop. It could be, working on list building strategies that you're going to be doing. And I have a really exciting Ditch Your Debt challenge coming up in the next few weeks that you will absolutely want to check out once it's available. So that is about really building my reach and building my following. Could be working with a JV partner. So maybe opening up the door to one, following up with one that you've worked with before, checking in with somebody that you've wanted to work with and see if they have availability and if there's a nice place, a nice synergy for the two of you guys to come together. Also, one-to-many could be writing a sales page. It could be, really looking at ways. I mentioned the group program, but really even building that out, creating a plan to be able to do that, but really thinking of it from how can I reach many people with this one action that I'm doing in this 30 minutes. Okay, so that's really important to be looking at. And, your easing could be a good high payoff activity, but most of the time it's only to a limited degree. So you want to set a timer, and I always have a little timer here like this on my desk. So when I'm sitting down to do one, I set it for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever I think it'll take to be able to, she's falling asleep, to be able to effectively get it done and not have it take up too much time and then really take away from more direct high payoff activities. So first one we talked about was fastest path to cash. Second one we talked about was employing a one-to-many strategy. Now the third one is to share your expertise in a really big way. Because as you grow your platform and as you grow your following, and Periscope is a good example. I'm certainly still learning. This is just in my first few days of doing this whole scoping thing. But really looking at what are ways that can be high payoff activities that you can be doing where you get to really build your reach. So I'm talking with one of the morning shows about maybe doing some work with them online, or even doing one of their shows, which would be super exciting. That would be a great way to really expand my reach, right? It could be for you writing for the Huffington Post. I have a client who does that, or different online avenues where you can really touch more people with your expertise. Let's see, what are some other good examples? I started some notes here. Let's see if there's anything I forgot. I think I'm pretty good. Oh, another one is really looking at, people don't pay enough attention to their business finances. And so what I would love to see you do is to take note, and really plan things out. So we have the rest of this year planned out. We have the first 6 months of 2016, well, really kind of an overall of 2016 already started to be mapped out, because it's important that you pay attention to your money, pay attention to the revenue that you want to be making, because, oh, there we go. Now we're hardening it up, right? Because you know what I'm talking about. Pay attention to it so that you actually achieve that revenue because you're focused on it. Okay. And so, it's interesting at this point, there's a little over 4 months left. And I will say that a lot of people start to throw in the towel now, and they're like, oh, I didn't make the revenue I wanted, or oh, my business isn't where I want it to be. But the reality is that is a ton of time. That's a third of the whole year, right? So who knows what you can now do going forward in these last 4 months. And for some people, this could be the best 4 months for you to be offering your services, have people get the tax deduction before the end of the year, really finish their year off strong. Okay, so I want to hear from you. What are some other high payoff activities that you can think of that you could be doing in your business, but maybe you're not doing them? So jot that down in the comment box now, and I'll start to tell you about why we don't do them. Okay, so first, fastest path to cash. Second was one-to-many, and 3 was really expanding your reach. These can all be high payoff activities. If you have to ask yourself, is this a high payoff activity? It probably isn't. Okay, but I want you just to really put on your hat. Some people call them revenue generating activities or RGAs. But really, I want to see you get into action in very deliberate ways. And so in my typical day, today I talked to a potential JV partner, talked to my team, talked to some clients, right? And really mix up the high payoff activities with my working in the business, my working on the business. All these things happen. And I do really schedule in on most days define blocks like time chunking to be able to do each of these without having to totally switch gears. But a lot of times, and again, this is kind of like the working mom, it's like we learn that one second we're taking care of our kids, the next second we're running the business, and it's all good. It all works. So partly why we avoid them is I think it's a little bit of a fear of failure, a fear of success, a fear of really being seen and putting ourselves out there in this bigger way, because there's a part of us that really knows that if I focus more on high payoff activities, I might actually achieve my goals. Wow, then who am I going to become? Who do I need to step into being? This is kind of that stepping into greatness that I need to be doing, or I could be doing, and oh my gosh, am I ready for that? And sometimes a little bit of the fraud complex kind of jumps in too, and then that says to us, am I really good enough? Right? Am I really, going to be found out that I don't know as much as I think I know? So these are all reasons that keep us and hold us back from taking those steps to do the high payoff activities. But for you listening, I know you are ready to own your money. You are ready to own your wealth. You're ready to own your business. You're really ready to get out there in bigger ways. And just know that even if you don't run a business, well, I'll show you a couple of things, I guess. If you run a business, especially important. If you run a business 100% of the time. If you're in a job and you're trying to grow a business on the side, it's even more important that when you have time that you are doing those high payoff activities. I'll ask clients, okay, you know what? I know you normally have around 40 hours a week. What if you only had 1 day a week to get your work done? Just one out of all 7. You only had 1 day to get that work done, not the usual 5. What are the things that you would do during that 1 day that would have the most impact? That's a great exercise for you to do right now, right? Give me some hearts if you're going to do that exercise, because I want to see you do it. This is a huge deal. That if you do that exercise, it's like you're switching your brain to, okay, I have a limited amount of time. What is most important? And then you open up your mind to see what that is. And it's kind of like the rule of 80-20. It's like 80% of the activities that we do only yield 20% of the results. But 20% of the activities yield 80% of the results. So how can you be focusing more on the 20% activities yielding the 80% impact? That's what that 1 day a week exercise has you start to do. And just know that as you step into it, a great book to read is The Big Leap, right, by Gay Hendricks. And as you step into that next level, you will be expanding yourself. He has this ultimate success mantra that goes, I expand in abundance, success, and love every day as I inspire those around me to do the same. It's great. I read the book, and I would literally say that mantra to myself every morning and every evening, because I was bumping up against what he calls this upper limit problem. And so I was kind of tapping myself in the level of success I was willing to take. And so it was about really expanding myself out and out and out to be able to do more and be more, right? And live into what I was really meant to do in the world. And that's how Own Your Money kept growing. That's how I personally kept growing. Hey, Katie, welcome. It's nice to have you back. And stepping into the expansion of that success and abundance was so crucial to my continued growth. And honestly, it was all part of when, right before Seth came around, he just turned 2, and then Becca came around, she just turned 3 months. And so when we don't do that, I'm going to talk a lot about our comfort zone in a future Periscope. We keep ourselves small, we keep ourselves comfortable, but we also don't get to live the life that we're meant to live. So a quick recap here on our high payoff activities. And I went through in more detail for those of you who keep joining. Thanks so much. And certainly you can swipe it over, swipe it. Yeah, you guys will have to tell me on Android, is it up or down, to be able to share it, right? And then you can press the little guy in the corner there and make sure that you're following me, because I've been doing one scope each night or each day essentially, and really just high content. It's my chance to engage with you and connect more and explore what's interesting to you, explore what I do, explore life with kids and running a business. Really, how do we make more? How do we keep more? All these things I've been learning along the way. I've been running this business for 8+ years. I'm a constant student and a constant teacher. And I want to bring you along and really get to the point where you feel confident enough to be doing these things in your own life. I'm a recovering avoider, and I feel like if I can do it, you can do it, right? I believe in you. I know that it's possible, and I know that it takes a commitment. I was listening to a Lisa Nichols Periscope, and her and her coach Sean Smith were saying, commitment and convenience don't necessarily live in the same zip code. They said don't live in the same zip code. I think that oftentimes they don't. And it's just good to think about, right? Commitment and convenience don't live in the same zip code. So when you're committed to something, you don't worry about convenience so much because you're committed. And I've learned the value of commitment in my business, and really also commitment to my family, which really comes first above all else. And finding that harmony where they get to thrive and I get to thrive, and Own Your Money gets to thrive, and everybody wins. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you resonate with that, then please follow me. I have a lot more guidance and insights to share. Before we go here, do you all have any questions for me? You can ask anything related to high payoff activities, growing your business, saving more money, whatever it is. Can you just give me a quick comment and let me know if you have any questions before we wrap up here? Maybe it's life as a working mom and running a business. All of that's good too. And Becca is officially asleep. Hallelujah. You have any comments for me? Any questions? I know some of you jumped on a little bit late. I totally understand. It's how this whole scoping thing works. You can just watch the replay to get the rest. So any other questions here? What I would love to see you do is your action item, okay, is do that exercise that I mentioned where you essentially say to yourself, okay, this week, instead of having a whole 5 days or 40 hours, I want you to say, what if I only had one day and 8 hours to get the most high impact stuff done, and what am I going to do? Okay, and that's where I want you to start. And then to look at your days for the next few days and to say, how can I make sure that I'm planning in high payoff activities? Literally schedule them into your calendar. So important. So that's my scoop. Okay, and that's my scope. Love it, right? That's our baby scope. Thanks, Kimberluna, for the idea to just bring the baby on board instead of expecting myself to have the time without her right now. And really showing you all living that we can run a business and we can run our family and everyone can win. So thanks very much. Have a great night. Hope you're following me. I love the little heart party at the end. She's sleeping, but she loved the hearts the other day. That was so cute. She just kept lighting up every time the screen would light up. It was really funny. And any last comments? Oh, thanks for the hearts. And if you want to say hi, say bye, all is well. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I look forward to connecting more soon. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye. I have her wave, but her hands are tucked away right now. So here, I'll give you a quick look before we go. She's all done with the passy. Oh, thanks for the hearts. We love you too. Oh, okay, little Becca. I'm gonna go put her up in her bed. Yeah, can you see? Can you see my cute little one? Look at that little, oh, look at that little face. So sweet. So I hope that you all have your sources of joy and you're able to make sure that you have the time with the ones you love, and really learning how to work less and enjoy life more is super important to make that happen. So thanks everybody for joining. Tell me, by the way, if you could hear me okay. I didn't use the microphone today because it seemed pretty quiet in my office. But if you feel like you want me to use it again, then please just let me know that too. So thanks everybody. You all are so quiet today. Maybe it's late. Is it late? Yeah, it's a little bit later than often I'll do these calls. But, or calls. They feel like calls, actually. They feel like video calls. But actually, they're scopes. Periscopes, as a matter of fact. Or baby scopes. So, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful night. And I look forward to talking more with you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. 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 Thanks for the hearts, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.